about a year ago. And I said, man, he's raw. The effort is there, but he's not quite put it all together. About 2 weeks ago, I seen Philip playing the game. And when I tell you he was the most dominant player in the paint, he was the most dominant player in the paint. I mean, he grabbing rebounds and putting it back in.
I call him the human eraser.
Yes. Yeah, so he's playing at a real fierce level right now. If we want to talk about players that I've been watching, he's one. I told Coach King yesterday. I said, now whenever Philip ready to switch teams, let me know because I got a spot for him on the Pelicans, man. The kid is just he's grown, man.
So Philip, full disclosure, is my nephew.
Okay.
So, and I've coached Philip like 6 years ago when I had him, Trevon, and Tejon on the same team.
Okay.
And Philip, at that point, could barely dribble. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't do anything.
Right.
And he, that was a few years ago. Philip is probably not like a real dominant player overall, but his improvement from last session and just over the couple of years that I've seen him over the last couple of years is crazy.
He's probably one of the most improved kids in our program.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been watching him. I was like, man, he's getting better and better every game.
And I think he's going to have the height and the skill set to do it. And when I went to over to his house the other day, he's out in the on the street shooting in his hoop. Him and some other kid. They're out there playing one-on-one. The extra stuff, coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So I think, and he's going into the 9th grade. I think by his 10th grade year, I think he'll be playing JV at least.
Okay, and I can see that. I think when I seen him last summer compared to where he is now, it's like night and day.
Night and day.
Like night and day. The effort, the fight that he had down there. He's not going away. You got to actually play at him. I didn't see that when I first seen him.
He was timid.
When I first seen him, he wasn't showing me. But now, the guy's fierce.
He was pretty timid, but he's aggressive now.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Philip, you think so?
Oh,
okay,
absolutely.
we picked the same player on that one.
Yes.
Which brings me to the game that we had last week.
Oh, let me tell you also. Let me go back.
What's that?
Another really, really improved is Wes.
Yeah, I think he just needed more opportunity. Yeah. I think, and so we're trying to create that for him. I got a lot of good point guards on my team. We're probably 3 deep.
Yeah.
And I mean two-way players that can score and that can defend. Yeah. And so they kind of forget about Wes a little bit. And so I've been in practice. We've been talking about we got to feed our big. You got to let him eat a little bit. You got to feed your big. And so we've been trying to make a more conscious effort to give him the ball. Yeah. And so I think some of it was opportunity. And so, but man, the kid is just dominant when he wants to.
He's actually, next to Philip, he's probably one of the most improved players. And I played against him last session. Yeah. And full disclosure, he's a family member.
Yeah. You say you come from a basketball family.
Full disclosure, he's a family member. But and I'm not just saying this because of that, but I played against him last session, and I was like, wow, he's kind of green. Yeah. Big, green. Yeah. And this session, it's like, you're going to have to deal with him.
Yeah. No, but, we had a great game last week.
We sure did.
It was probably one of the most exciting games that I've been involved in this season, and probably in a few seasons. Me and the Bulls had some real battles last summer. I wish you could have been around to see them, but we ended up actually taking them in the championship. But that game that we had last week with the Little Knicks versus the Little Pelicans, to me, 2 of our key players had fouled out. But I would like to see how that will turn out if everybody stays on the floor, everybody keeps nobody's in foul trouble. We can keep going at each other. I think the tournament coming up, I think we're probably headed to another collision.
Yes.
And so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. That's going to be a big game.
I tell you what, Coach, I told my kids before the game, they came in, and I'm watching them because this is what I do. I watch them as they arrive and see where their energy level is at, seeing where, are they in the moment, and 80% of my kids came in like they just got off of Fortnite or like they just got out of bed. So when I pulled them together before the game, I told them, I said, listen, you guys are not awake. You don't know what you're getting ready to get yourself into. And if you think for one moment that you're going to walk into that gym and Coach, you would think that we were already down by 30. This is the energy. This is where I was. And I'm trying to get them at least, you don't have to match it, but you better spark some energy. And so I told them, I said, if you think you're going to walk in there and get a W just because you're the Little Knicks, you're deadly mistaken because that team in there, they really want to put a L on your head. And so you can take them for granted if you want to.
You guys are the one that everybody's trying to beat.
But sometimes I think, if the kids if you don't keep their head right, then that's when they start believing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Madness. And nothing can be further from the truth. That's why they lace them up. And that's why, you guys were ahead a couple of times in the game. And that was a back and forth. And
it was a good game, man.
We finally gained a little bit of control and momentum towards the end. But I wasn't comfortable with that game until like the last. You ran out of timeouts. And that's we talked about.
I used one of my timeouts to fuss at the referee, which turned out to be a mistake. And so I take full, like I told my team, 10 points or less, that loss is on me. Because I feel like as a coach, I could have done something. Maybe I didn't have the right player in, maybe we should have managed the game a little bit better. And so, but 11 points or more, it's on you because that's effort to me. I mean, we're giving up too many points. The effort is not there. So we're not even in the position to win. But if you get us in the position to win, then I have to coach it from there. And that's what I ask every game is just give me a chance to coach it. But if we're too far away, I can't even coach it. And so I'll take the blame for that loss.
But that was a 4-point. Was it a 4-point game?
It was a 4-point game, man. 4-point game. So and the thing is, we're headed for another collision. We are. I was just looking at moving down to the Sewer tournament. I was looking at the brackets. And it looks like you guys will take the top seed. And congratulations to you on that, man. You guys you earned it. But I think you're going to have another date with the Pelicans.
Yes, and we're looking forward to it. I know my boys, that was a great wake-up call for them. So coming down into the tournament, I think they're in the mindset now that anything could happen.
That first game is crucial. That first game is crucial. Because it actually pulls you out of the winner's bracket if you lose. You still play. You still get to play. But you don't have an opportunity to win.
That just... And I hate to go back, but that just speaks to the growth of the WSL and the cutting edge thing that you're doing. Those kind of things. It just makes it so exciting.
One of the things that I've been thinking about, and one of the parents that came to me, she's like, Coach, we really should think about putting some kind of documentary together for WSL. She said, this is amazing what you guys are doing. And to have maybe like a storyline behind it, where you can kind of explain where the idea came from, where you guys, are progressing to and what you're trying to do. And I was like, man, that's a great idea. To put some of those small documentary together would be huge. Just to kind of explain World Sports League, even why we call it that, the name, how we started as a camp first and then moved into a basketball league a year and a half ago. And so that's something that I'm looking into right now. I just got to find the right person or company to help me put that together. And it'll be like we'll include all of the teams, come to your practices, see how you're teaching the kids, look in the huddles when your timeouts are going, checking out some of the battles that we have with all of the teams. So the documentary is something that's on my radar right now that I'm trying to do.
You'll have a lot of material to choose from because of the history. Not that it's a long history, but the things that you've been doing. You'll have a lot of material to choose from. And it also, and this may be one of the unintended benefits, maybe, if you will. And I was just thinking about this. One of the unintended benefits, because I know this is not something that you're thinking about, but the other leagues that, you know, anytime competition steps on, you know, the other players are going to kind of look at you kind of sideways, right? And maybe this will give them an opportunity to see the good things, you know, that, you know, you bring to the table, and it might be good for them, too.
Yeah, and the thing about it, and I'm glad you kind of said that, for me, focus and just intentions and everything will always be the growth of a player, not just on the court, but off the court, just trying to make him a better young man or young woman. But one of the other things I wanted to lead into, Coach, and I'm trying to make the biggest impact I can with this, and not just basketball, which, you know, I can say basketball alone is just an amazing, you know, it can change people's lives. But I want to figure out how else we can help some of my families, players, you know, financially are just, you know, needing help. And so I want to try to create some type of job board or some kind of way. If I hear about something, we'll actually post it. And so you can actually go onto our website or on our social media and say, oh, they're hiring, or you know. And so it may help a family or somebody who's maybe looking for work. And so you can actually go to our website and click on an area. And this is something I'm working on for the fall, where we'll have a job board. And so you can actually go on there and see who's hiring. You know, maybe it'll be just something, a part-time position, or what, you know, whatever it is. It may help a family who's not working at all. You know, so this is something else I'm trying to incorporate. Again, I'm trying to make the biggest impact I can on the community.
I can see why the APD, like an organization like that, I can see why they're very interested in what you do here at WSL, because that lines up right with, you know, community outreach, obviously, that they do. And that just brought, that's one of the, you know, things that just popped in my mind. When you're talking about doing things like that for kids beyond the basketball thing, you have there's no doubt you have their best interest in mind.
Right. And that's for me, that's what it is. I'm just trying to do all I can. I don't know what all the future holds for WSL. I do hope we can just be forever. But while I'm here and at the helm of WSL, I'm going to do everything I can to impact this community. Either you with us or just move out the way. I mean, you know, don't impede the progress. Either you're going to help us or just step aside and let us do the work that we need to do. So, and that's really all I want to say on that. The last thing I want to get into is the fall season. Then we'll talk about the future of WSL. But the fall season starts September 14th. We'll be back to our Saturday games. Registration is going on right now. I can tell you now your favorite teams, and we already have favorite teams, are filling up as we speak. So if you're interested in a certain coach, a certain team, now would be the time to approach that coach. I would do that first and see if they have room on that team for you. And if they give you the go ahead and get registered. Very simple. You do everything online. If you have any problems, make sure you just shoot me an email or come to one of our games, and I'll help you get registered. Our season will be over on November 16th. That way, all of the high school kids can still have time to get ready for the high school season. And so I'm just excited about this 10-week program that we get ready to go back into in the fall. And let's see if we can get it done.
Yeah, I'm excited about it because last session, which is this session, I started out barely with like 4 kids, and two of them were mine, my son and my nephew.
Right.
And right now, I have 7 kids of the 10 that I have that said, "Hey, we're returning, and we want to play with you for the next few years."
That's what it's about, just trying to retain your team. And to be honest with you, those are the teams that excel. because they keep that
Continuity,
core group, and that chemistry starts to develop. They're not jumping from league to league, and team to team, and all that. So they start to get used to that one coaching style and system, and so that team starts to excel.
Yeah, the chemistry is the key, like you said.
And then the last thing, Coach, for me, the future for WSL, sky's the limit, man. It really is. Our next deal, like I said, this will be an annual event down in Sword, which I'm excited about. The city of Sword is actually behind this. They're our partner in this, and that's something some of us don't know, that we partner with the city to do this.
Wow.
So they're behind us on this, and eventually we'll get the community down there behind us as well after this trip down there. But my next goal is to Soldotna, Kenai, all of the other surrounding cities, we got to get them on board. And so for the future, for me, is just to continue to expand, to continue to put everything together. So
and I don't know what you have planned, but every time I talk to you, it's something different. So stay tuned. You never know.
No, I'm trying, man. Hey, I want to thank you just for taking the time and sitting down with me. Man, I hope you just stay with the program, stay with the kids that you got. Keep coaching, man. You're doing a good job. And yeah, I'll see you at the time.
Hey, thank you for having me, Coach.
I'll see you.
Appreciate it.
World Sports League.